Okay, so I went along the lines with teacher voice, but in the policy and decision making this year, because you know we're only in the classroom. What do we know? Okay, so here's with all the stuff going on, especially COVID times, and it seemed like more and more at the top are making decisions and not talking to the teachers. So who are the policy decision makers is what I started thinking about. And we look at the state, CDE, your locals. I've put chiefs in here because in my district, we're not traditional. Everybody is known as a chief blank, chief blank, chief blank, chief blank. So we have a whole lot of that instead of like a traditional super and assistant. Parents and students. And I'm like, wait a minute, where are us in all of this that's been going on? And then I thought of a phrase that I was kind of raised with, like a weak link becomes the missing link. And I was like, you're right. But here's the thing, teachers, we're not weak and we're professional degrees. People forget that we have gone to college and have an overwhelming amount of education to teach children. And we're the experts. We're in the classroom. We're essential. And we're the ones who are actually out in the community. So we need that seat at the table when it comes to decision making, whether it be at the local state level and policy making. So what I did was a lot of plans. And if you go under this, there's also D, E, F, G, and all the way through the alphabet 3 times. And so I reached out to people in our association and outside of our association, because this is all teachers need a voice. And we approached the Board of Education 6 months ago with a proposal. And it was, I know some others thought it was better, the seeds that plant, we planted the seed actually at the meeting. And I just met with our board president and he kind of said the same thing. It was like a bomb dropping. Like, what do you mean? And I took that kind of as like, what you're like, shocked, like, what do you mean teachers need a voice at the table? But here's what happened. The seed was planted, and I have the video of us speaking at the board meeting and the proposal, which is about teachers just coming to the table, tapping into our talent, tapping into our thoughts, and letting us work alongside so we all work together instead of we're 2 separate entities. And so this is why teachers matter. This was kind of the heart and soul of my presentation. Because when you look at education, we're the backbone because we're with the kids. This is what I proposed to everybody. And this has actually gone out to everybody in our district has seen this. Because we research, we design, we create, we're the PR. We work honestly 7 days a week and through summers. We're the first line when you look at achievement. That's us. We engage the kids. We're also their counselors, the administrators, for their safety and security. And so I wanted to bring to light that this is everything teachers do, and this is why we need to be tapped into and part of that decision-making model. So, doors were closed, but the thing is, just being persistent and persevering and being professional, it started to grow because finally our chief education officer says he finally decided 2 months later that he's like, okay, let's have a talk on the phone. And we did. And for everything he was opposed to, once we were able to, he gave me his side, I gave him my side, we were able to come to common ground, which is fantastic because that hadn't happened. So we put out, we published, I don't know, like a newsletter together and sent it out to all district staff. And it was amazing. The feedback was amazing. And the feedback that went to them out there was, hey, look, you know what? We do need a seat at the table. So that's going to end up happening. And like, here's the thing. We need to be flexible too. So it's not the way I planned it out, like I thought it would happen, but it's going to happen in another manner. And the point is, as long as it happens, it's going to be good for all of us. And so here are some takeaways from this. That some of the big things that I know, one thing, because I can sit here and complain, but I got to do something. And if I don't speak up, I only silence myself. And that's for all of us. So the teachers need to be empowered and the voice needs to be strong. Sometimes it feels like a little tug of war right there. And so the journey continues. I've had some great meetings in between. I was actually invited to speak at a board meeting last night on an issue, and others. And one thing we all know, that if we band together, we're stronger together.